everybody, and welcome to the first episode of Jake's Psychopinion sideshow. This is Jake, and what I'm trying to do here is sort of go into detail about some things that I thought were interesting while I was researching topics for the show. Sometimes we don't get to go into enough detail, or sometimes there's something left unsaid that we'd still like to discuss, so this is a chance to do that. What I'm discussing tonight is in addition to our recent clown episode where we talked about clowns and how they affect horror movies and kind of coulrophobia and people's fear of clowns and where that comes from. And one thing that I thought was really interesting, and I remember this, I don't know, I was following it because I thought it was really strange and creepy and I kind of like clown stuff, so I was sort of following this, but recently, I brought this up to a bunch of people, and they said that they don't even remember this happening. But in 2016, if you're not familiar with it, there was a kind of a clown craze going on. They called it different things. They called it a clown craze. They called it clown invasion, clown uprising, clown panic. I've heard clown epidemic. Basically what was going on, and we'll get into some detail a little bit here, was that clowns all of a sudden started appearing everywhere, mostly by tree lines, near the woods, by schools, and kind of just randomly here and there. There were some incidences where, the clowns were trying to get children to follow them into the woods. I didn't find anything in my research where any child actually did follow a clown in the woods, thank God, because who knows what the intention was there. There was a violent incident that happened in a couple of instances where, people may have been mildly injured. But really what it all came down to is that these clowns are popping up, and it was kind of even a worldwide thing. Started in UK in September, and kind of moved here, whereas other articles I've read said that it started in South Carolina. So, as we get into this, I just want you to understand that all of the articles I looked up at and all of the things that I read on this, it just kind of, they're all over the place. It doesn't seem like anybody really knew what the fuck was going on or had the same account as anybody else. So I'm going to do the best I can to try to get us through some of this here. But anyway... To start us off, there was so many psychologists and psychiatrists really jumped in on this, talking about why we're afraid of clowns, and we did talk about that a little bit in the episode. A lot of that had to do with the fact that their faces are sort of exaggerated, or that their expressions may not match the painted expression, which can confuse people on a more fight or flight type reflex subconscious level. A lot of psychologists and stuff said that it also starts as when we're kids, because while we're trying to figure out the world, and then we see these exaggerated faces and everything, it doesn't make sense, and it causes us to kind of build this fear. With that being said, a notable clown and another one that brought fear around everybody else was John Wayne Gacy. To give a little bit of history here, he was a serial killer and rapist. He was convicted of 33 murders on young boys and young men in Cook County, Illinois, between 72 and 78. He dressed as Pogo the Clown, which was one of his sort of alternate personalities, I guess you might be able to say. And he was really into clowns. So, I don't know. Creepy guy into clowns, but a lot of people think of him. And also, these reportings of all of these clowns coming up, people were trying to make sense of it and decided that it was probably to promote It, maybe. Stephen King's It, the remake that was coming out around that time. There's also Gags the Clown that was around Philadelphia area that was supposedly promoting another movie, kind of low-budget independent film. So, anyway, with that being said, the interesting thing about this is all these clowns popping up all over the place is that you almost got to wonder, were they hired by one person or some sort of agency, and then some people got in on it and just got out of control, and that was with the chasing and the trying to bring children into the woods and the attacking people. Was it kind of just one of those online groups maybe that decided to do this? Or the whole thing to me kind of reminded me of like crop circles or like planking, even in the modern age. Just these trends that kind of start, somebody does crop circles and they get on the news, so then somebody else does crop circles, and or maybe the crop circles are fucking aliens. Maybe planking's a better example. And so one idiot, planks. Planking, by the way, is holding yourself stiff on different objects. I'm not really sure I ever understood the point of it. It's one of many, many, many online trends, but I just picked that one as an example. Kind of one person does it and films it, and then the next person's like, hey, I can do that shit too. I want to be as famous as the first guy that did it. Then we got all this weird, crazy clown bullshit happening. I don't know if you can make the jump, but that's kind of what it made me think of. So, anyway. So to get started on the events here, in UK, it started on Friday, September 30th. There was reports received of somebody dressed like a creepy clown leaping out of bushes to scare children. And then over the next few days, half a dozen such clown incidents were recorded. A teenage clown was arrested in possession of having a bladed article. The article said, some kind of knife or machete, something like that. I don't know. I didn't see the blade. Could have been a pocket knife. I don't know. The tabloids announced that there was a terrifying clown craze. So this, according to this article here, started in the UK, which I also read somewhere else that it started in South Carolina. So who knows? It's hard to tell with these things because I think everybody's just writing out of their ass out of the fear of clowns here. The first name victim, 17-year-old student Megan Bell. She had a lifelong fear of clowns, and she was chased down the street one night by a clown, and then more clowns began to pop up in Wales, Manchester, Sheffield, Liverpool, and just about everywhere. Concerned parents made Facebook pages about clowns, which really kind of made everybody aware, but it also kind of spread this thing, in my opinion, and some people believe the same, that kind of the over people getting really scared and people getting in these groups and stuff, like really kind of fueled the fire on this a little bit is what I think. So anyway, it got to the point where the police asked the school children to call 999, England's 911, if they saw a killer clown. And some observers spoke knowingly of a classic social panic that they were reminded of with this clown incident. So very few incidents involved actual physical assaults in England. Mostly just being chased around, things like that. And of course, the psychologists weigh in on the antisocial behavior, leaving people scared, anxious, intimidated. These days in the 2000s, I'm sure a lot of people are still in therapy for seeing clowns. And I'm not talking about little kids necessarily. A lot of people these days get kind of traumatized fairly easily. So, coming over to America, we're going to look at October 20th when the clowns began to surface. Many people were thinking that it was to promote a horror movie, as I said. And a lot of weird things started happening. People started wearing clown masks to commit robberies, and people were trying to kidnap children, and just everybody kind of decided, I guess, to get on the clown thing, which really isn't a bad idea, I guess, if you're a criminal at that time, because if everybody's doing that and nobody's really sure what's going on, I mean, you just kind of become just another crazy clown story, I guess. But anyway, so Gags, we were talking about him earlier. it was Green Bay, clown Facebook page that they were talking about this on. Some of the first clown sightings began back in June and August, stretching from the Midwest to the East Coast and through the South in Wisconsin. Gags, the Green Bay clown, gained viral status after grainy photos of a clown surfaced walking the streets under cover of night. Speculation was that Gags and other clowns were related to viral marketing, the campaign of the movie Haunted House or other entertainment product or venue. So they also thought that maybe it was around Halloween, so, maybe they were promoting some kind of crazy ass haunted house. So August 30th, 2016, police warn of clown trying to lure children in the woods. We talked about that a little bit. Clown sightings took a scary turn in late August when authorities in South Carolina, and this is, where some people said it began, but there's evidence it started before that. Like I said, some of this shit is really convoluted. In South Carolina began reports of a person dressed as a clown trying to lure children in the woods. Deputies said they received several reports of suspicious characters dressed like clowns with white face paint who were flashing green lasers and enticing kids with large amounts of money. So I don't know. Maybe it was teenagers because I don't really know. I mean, I guess little kids care about money, but not like that. So it doesn't say the age range of the children. I'd be curious about that. September 14th, 2016, clowns chase children waiting for school bus. So there's at least 2 clowns involved in that incident. 3 children in Georgia told police about an incident involving 2 adult men dressed as clowns. And Cameron Frails was one of these children. He was 12 years old, and his little brother were walking to a bus stop after 6 a.m. when they were chased by men donning all black clothing, clown masks, and red wigs. So they sound kind of frightening. And I think, honestly, the most frightening part about that to me is what kind of fucking person that does this kind of shit is up at 6 a.m.? I mean, that's kind of the crazy part to me is it's like I always felt like even the worst streets and the worst places to go, I mean, there's a point where everybody's asleep. I mean, I don't know who's out there setting their alarm for 5 o'clock so they can make sure they can get up in time and shower to go scare some kids in a fucking clown outfit. Part's a little crazy to me. So there's a neighbor girl, Hannah Rice, saw the clowns following the boys out from between 2 mobile homes before the chase, deputies said. So there was a witness to this. So again, September 21st, 2016, we got clowns in the woods chasing children. This is in Pottsville, Pennsylvania. There was reports of clowns harassing children at the playground. And Brian Hawk is 12. So I guess a lot of these kids were like around the, pre-teenage. Seems like Brian Hawk here reported that he to be 12 years old, I guess. Little boy came screaming through the park after allegedly seeing a group of clowns eating something in the woods. That's very broad. I don't know if it's a cake or the asshole of a dead deer or another child's arm. It doesn't really say. So I'm not too sure about that. I'm just telling you what I found. So the clowns started chasing us up here and turned around and went back into the woods, she said. But the terror wasn't over. The alleged clowns returned, she said, throwing sticks at the children before hurling curse words at them. It was scary, Brienne says. Sticks and curse words, I feel like that might be teenagers. That seems a little immature. But I mean, I don't really know if any of this would be considered mature. September 24th, 2016, law enforcement issues alert over clown-related crimes. So after alleged clown sightings in South Carolina, Southern Kentucky, Tennessee, and a few other states, the Tennessee Highway Patrol issued a warning to parents to watch the kids and to be on the lookout for anything out of the ordinary. The threat, they said, was the possibility of predators in clown costumes seeking to lure children in the woods. And it's exactly what I said. That'd be the scariest shit right there. I'm really glad that I didn't see any reports that children were in the woods, because that's fucking crazy. So they had all these hotlines set up. They were warning everybody to call 911. It really started to blow up even more in the South around that time. Around that time, law enforcement said that a teenager in Coffee County, Tennessee, claimed to have been attacked by a clown. All the while, retail shops across the S began rolling out Halloween costumes, including assortment of clown-related costumes, wigs, makeup, and accessories. So, if they were just putting out their costumes, whoever was out there running around obviously got a early bird special, ordered the shit on Amazon, whatever the case may be, because they were already prepared before Halloween Express or the Spirit of Halloween got going. So 2016, September 26, 2016, the FBI investigates school threat, including scary clown image. Arizona officials blame an abnormal number of school absences on social media threat featuring a clown image. Between two Phoenix school districts, 24 schools were named and a multitude of threats posted online. Parents and students were shaken, with about half of the 3,000 students at Marydale High. That sounds like it's a children's sitcom, high school, but skipping class out of concern. 3 juveniles were arrested after the FBI joined the investigation. They faced felony charges by law enforcement, who said that they believe that others may be involved. So this thing is big. They're starting to make arrests. The FBI is involved. Later on that week in Ohio and Tennessee, there would be other schools targeted by clown-related threats. So it started really kind of going at the schools. And this is why I'm really wondering why nobody ever heard of this thing, because, I mean, this thing was affecting the schools. I mean, it was all over the news. I remember just there being a new segment about it like every day. So now we get to the other craziness going on. I think this was just copycats and people involving themselves because of the craze. We had an incident on September 27, 2016. Teens were wearing clown masks tied to a fast food restaurant robbery. Clown robbers were arrested. The next day in Phoenix, police say 2 different fast food restaurants were robbed by suspects wearing clown masks. So that's crazy. Just a whole bunch of people doing the same shit. I mean, that's why I almost wonder if there was like some kind of website or some kind of group chat. I have no idea. The dark web or some kind of thing like that, I'd imagine, if they didn't figure it out, because you'd think the FBI would be on top of that. So around 8 p.m. Tuesday, a Taco Bell restaurant was allegedly hit by an armed robber. As police were busy investigating, the suspects allegedly hit a Domino's restaurant nearby. So they're just hitting all the restaurants. They got tacos and pizza. 2 17-year-olds were arrested in connection with those robberies. And then we move on to other crimes. September 28, 2016, a group of clowns allegedly terrorized drivers in the street. Several 911 calls in Long Island, New York, were recorded in regards to clown incidents. One call, drivers reported a group of clowns were jumping in front of moving vehicles in Brentwood. No one was arrested after the incidents. And I'm surprised nobody just fucking hit the clowns with all the chorophobia and clown-related incidents and not knowing what these people are doing or are capable of. I would have thought somebody would have hit the gas. But they didn't. So now we're getting crazy. They got explosives. September 29th, 2016, clowns armed with explosives, or a clown, I think it says, armed with explosives robs a bank. So the next day in Tennessee, police say a clown armed with explosives walks into a bank and demanded money from a teller. Memphis police said one person clad with a clown costume and another person got away with an undisclosed amount of cash. So these guys, this is becoming terrorism at this point, practically. So now we've got October 3rd. We're getting into the Halloween month, 2016. Clown threats targeting Philadelphia schools made by girl. 13 police say. Well, still that preteen, just teenage. So the following Monday, Philadelphia police identified a 13-year-old girl as the person who made so-called clown threats toward local schools. A little crazy to me. I would usually think that a boy would be involved with that. Girls usually have a little more sense. Investigators said the girl told them it was a prank committed with a friend at her school, and she never had any intent to harm anyone. Oh, that's really nice, but the threat's enough. So October 4th, which is the next day, police investigate threats made towards Indiana schools. A day later, Hammond police say that they were investigating social media threats made by clowns against several Northwest Indiana schools. So this thing just keeps traveling and traveling. So next we are going to October 5th, 2016. Was that the next day? Yes, it is. So we had days in a row this stuff's happening. October 5th, the next day, clown reports reported at schools throughout Chicago area. The following day, a teenager was arrested in connection with a fake clown threatened Hammond, Indiana. Just as worried parents accompanied their children to school because of creepy clown threats in the Chicago area. Chicago Public Schools said it was investigating approximately 50 social media incidents with threats involving clowns. Authorities across a dozen suburbs said that they were also investigating various clown-related threats and sightings. So I'm wondering if that's just that social media is that obviously can't be them deciding who's going to do what next or anything like that if these things are related, because they would have found that. So it's obviously just talking about these incidents happening in general and sort of everybody chiming in on it. You know, when things happen, everybody's got to have their opinion. Of course, right now, here and now, this is mine, as well as, you know, these detailed and accurate articles. October 6, 2016, mom fights off clown accused of attempting to kidnap girl. That's fucking scary. The next day, a mother in California said she had to fight off a man dressed in a clown suit to keep him from snatching her 1-year-old daughter out of her arms. What the fuck? She said he wore a blue curly wig, but no mask or makeup on his face. After a brief conversation, she said he grabbed for her daughter's arm. That's fucked up. I'd have fucking beat the living shit out of that clown. All right. So teen girl asked clown to kill her teacher. That's another article. That's October 6th. So that's the same day that the mother was fighting off the clown. I don't have much on that. Okay, here it goes. We've got, all right. The same day, that day, a 13-year-old girl was charged in alleged murder for hire plot involving a clown and her teacher. Authorities said the girl asked a person posing as a clown on social media to kill her teacher. The girl was charged with one count of threatening to kill by electronic message. Now, how did that fucking happen? Like, this girl signs online and there's just this fucking random, like, clown profile. You get on Facebook and it's like, Jojo the Clown or some shit. I don't know. And then this girl's just like, hey, you're a fucking clown. Clowns are dangerous. They've been running around trying to steal babies and shit. So how about you take a go at my teacher? Not to mention the fact that the article doesn't say why. I mean, why would somebody want to kill their teacher? It seems like such a permanent fucking answer for, 8 months of fucking sitting in their classroom. I mean, it's just, I don't know. That one's kind of crazy. I think there's definitely some mental illness happening there. They all need to be checked out. They probably were. But anyway, that's just some of this shit, and how they explain how it goes down is just strange to me. I mean, how did that happen? Anyway, I digress on that, and we're going to go to the following day, October 7th, 2016. Parents leave child for home alone to pull clown pranks, police say. 2 parents were arrested on charges. They left their 4-year-old child at home so they could allegedly terrorize a neighborhood while dressed as clown. Who the fuck are these people? What fucking trailer park did that happen in? Let's leave our 4-year-old at home so that we can go fucking freak people out like clowns. I mean, these are the kind of assholes I wish had a psychological exam done before they even had children, because obviously they don't need to have a child. They don't need to have children. This is idiocracy at its best. Continuing, police in Menasha said several people wearing clown costumes were seen chasing cars in the early morning hours. Now they're chasing cars like a fucking dog. I mean, this is some crazy shit. It really is. This is some really crazy shit. And I remember hearing about some of these, and I remember some of these things happening, but kind of sitting here reading it all at once, it's just like, what the fuck? Over October 8th. So we're still going every day since the third, I think, third or fourth. October 8th, 2016, clown seen clinging to back of moving bus. Clown seen clinging to back of moving bus. Yeah, I just said that. Over the weekend, someone in a clown costume was caught on video hanging off the back of a moving bus in Detroit. Well, it was Detroit, so that's probably one of those juggalos, right? The ICP juggalos they got out there. They're actually a legitimate gang. They're considered a legitimate gang by law enforcement. The fucking juggalos. So we got Violent J or whatever the fuck hanging off the back of a bus in Detroit. Anyway, WDIV reports the video has more than 500,000 views on social media. The person who shot the video said that it was filmed on Saturday. Whatever. The Detroit Department of Transportation said it was increasing security following the incident. So that means that they might have some kind of officer hanging out on the back of the bus to make sure nobody else gets on the back of the bus. Or they're going to be inspecting the back of the bus. I don't know. I mean, whatever. They did whatever they did. October 11th. So now we're a couple days ahead. We're starting to get some traction here. Ronald McDonald keeping lower profile due to clown sightings. McDonald's Corp said it being thoughtful in respect to Ronald McDonald's participation in community events as a result of the current climate around clown sightings in communities. So the burger chain's decision comes after a rash of pranks around the country that have involved eerie clown sightings. So Ronald McDonald is putting his foot down, his big ass red shoe. He's putting it down and he's saying, I have nothing to do with this shit. I'm a good clown. These are bad clowns. So, it's not me, it's them. That happened October 11, 2016. Should have handed out some free fries or something. That would have made us all happy. October 16th, so a few days after that, 2016, creepy clown scared off after man fires gun into the air, police say. The person dressed as a clown was apparently scared off after the man he was approaching fired a gun into the air, according to Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. Now, you're going to fuck around with people in L.A. as a clown? That sounds like a bad decision. Authorities said man called 911 to report that someone dressed in a clown costume holding a knife approached his home. The man told deputies he fired a warning shot into the air, and the suspect ran from the area. It's probably the smartest thing that man dressed like a clown has done in his whole fucking life. October 17, 2016, Target pulls clown masks from shelves. All right, it's getting serious. Just a few weeks before Halloween, Target said it is removing clown masks from the store shelves and its website after scary clown threats have been reported across the country. $1,000 says that they sold those masks in 2017, or they sold them to like one of those TJ Maxx stores or something, one of those stores that buys the shit from the bigger stores. They were still sold. They didn't lose money on that, I guarantee it. We had a few masks in stores, which we began to pull last week, a media representative of Target told ABC News. We also have edited down our assortment online. Oh, they edited down. That's good. So you could only get certain fucking creepy clown masks. You'll still find clown masks there. No, I just said that. But we made the decision to pull back on the number. So, I mean, isn't that really like saying that they are still picking profit over safety? Because, you pulled some. I mean, maybe you probably pulled the ones that weren't even selling, like the really shitty clowns, like the B-list fucking clown masks. All right. Anyway, moving on. October 20th, 2016, Mississippi County bans clowns until after Halloween. Mississippi County has had enough of the creepy clown craze. They're done with it. At least until after Halloween. Okay, so, fucking stop until Halloween. We want to have a good time. It's good for the kids. We need the candy. We need the commerce and all that shit. At least till then, okay? So Kemper County supervisors enacted a clown ban where they were temporarily preventing people from dressing as clowns. Anyone caught in public wearing a clown costume, mask, or makeup could face a $150 fine. So that'll take care of it. I don't know. Something tells me that the people that are dressed like clowns, luring children, and trying to fucking attack people and all that garbage. Something tells me that they don't really care if you're gonna, fucking fine them or not. I mean, that just, I don't know. They don't care. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. That's the thing. So that's the last incident I have written down from a lot of the notes that I took. With that being said, interesting other little facts about this is that there's 7 people. Was it 7 people? There was, I believe that was 12. I think there's 12 people, 12 arrests across the United States, and there was 1 death that came from this whole thing. So that's really where we ended up. I'm assuming that the people that were arrested, chasing people, all that shit, they had nothing to do with Stephen King's It. I can only imagine that that's the case. So the 1 death was a 16-year-old boy. He was stabbed during an incident. And at first they said that he was stabbed by somebody wearing a clown mask. It turns out later that detectives revealed that the kid that was stabbed to death was actually wearing the clown mask. So he must have been one of the perpetrators or somebody fucking around or somebody that just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time and was a good clown like Ronald McDonald and just happened to get stabbed by somebody that was over the fucking clown craze. They didn't want any more of it till Halloween, till after Halloween. So, with the 12 arrests, I don't know what happened with those. I would have to look that up. Shit, I mean, the way the legal system is since COVID, they're probably still waiting to be seen in court because there are just way too many people waiting right now for that kind of thing. However, there was a massive clown hunt in Connecticut, which is really interesting. That was Pennsylvania State University swarmed surrounding campus streets to carry out a mass clown hunt. It was a Connecticut school. Sorry, I got ahead of myself. It was a Connecticut school. So it was banning clown costumes. Everybody was. It was symbols of terror and all this other shit they were saying. But going on a clown hunt, that's pretty funny. It's kind of like when they did the whole borough in the city went after the son of Sam, and they were like, we're gonna go find this fucking guy. And I'm just wondering, like, how? You don't know who the fuck he is. If he put his gun in his pocket, he could have joined the crowd. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know if he's standing right next to you. You wouldn't. You don't. That I don't know. I don't understand. So I mean, they're swarming for fucking clowns. I mean, and it's like I don't know. It sounds like they think it's gonna be like Pokemon Go or some shit. They're just gonna come across different clowns and throw them in a fucking sack or beat them or whatever the fuck they're gonna do. But I don't know why anybody in their right mind would be out there in a clown costume while people are swarming the streets to take care of this pandemic. The clowns, even the one that got the warning shot, I mean, he fucking ran away. I mean, no clown in their right mind is gonna be like, yeah, let me. And then, it's not even as easy as some of them. They can't just put their clown makeup in their fucking pocket. I mean, you gotta wash that shit off. So, anyway, this whole incident happened a while ago. This was back in 2016. I wanted to share it. I didn't really get to bring it up at all in the clown episode. There just wasn't enough time. So I wanted to bring it up now, and I wanted to talk about it a little bit. If you know anything different than I do, or you have any different recollection, or maybe I was off about some of the facts, which I could admit may have happened, because like I said, a lot of this is convoluted. I read article after article after article, and it's like every article had different details. I tried to go with the majority. Like I was like, okay, 5 of the articles said this happened, so I wrote it down, et cetera, and so on. So hopefully I was pretty accurate with this. I'm sure there's other places to look it up if you're really interested. You probably have the same problem I did, so my account's probably just as good as any of those articles. But here it is, the clown pandemic. I am happy to share that with you. If you have any, as I was saying, there we go. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or even want to debate any of the facts or anything, I don't know, go ahead and hit us up in the comment box. This will be on YouTube. This will be on Spotify. And I will be doing more Jake's Psychopinion sideshows in the future. I may or may not be joined by my co-hosts, but these will be a little bit shorter, and it'll just be going over stories or details that we missed out on. So please check us out on YouTube and Spotify, and do the whole like, comment, follow, all that stuff. Have a great night.